What the world? Oh, man!
SHW, this is our wrestling.
Unbelievable.
You think you could walk all over me, but I don't see that happening. We're warriors.
We told you anybody could show up here tonight. This crowd is going ballistic. Using that dog collar now, just choking Huckabee. Ashton Starr, your new #1 contender. The Lynch Mob are your first ever SHW Tag Team Champions. You're kidding me. Logan Creed is in the action building. Unbelievable. I can't believe what we saw here tonight, folks. I mean, this is insane.
And now, the voices of Southern Honor Wrestling, Brandon Benefield and Gerard Bonner.
Hey, everybody, and welcome back for another edition of SHW. This is Our Wrestling. We are the voices of SHW. B-double Brandon Benefield, GB Gerard Bonner. Buddy, how's it going?
You know what? I'm good. It's another week of our great podcast. I always love getting to talk to our SHW fans and family. And, you know, every week we get on here and we say we're 1 week closer. Well, golly, seems like we're getting ever closer. Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, we're definitely 1 week closer to a big announcement, which we just saw a post this past week from SHW's Facebook page, which might be where you're watching us right now. And it said that coming up, was it July 1st?
July 1st.
What in the world is this big announcement? Do you have any idea? Do you have any inside scoop?
I don't, and I know some people might think we're working you guys, but we really have no idea. This is what I can say. If you do follow Gary Lamb at all, Gary has been very vocal, and we've talked about how vocal he has been about the fact that there's not going to be an SHW show until he can do it without restrictions. And so for him to come on with a gleeful post about a major announcement coming soon says to me, yeah, this is going to be kind of special. And I don't know what it is, but we are waiting with bated breath, and we are counting down the days until this big announcement. And you know, once it's made, we're going to talk about it. So yeah, I'm excited. Matter of fact, let's do this. If you're watching us, which obviously you are, put in the comment section what you think the announcement could be. I mean, do you think it'll be about the date of the return? If it is the date, do you know when it would be? Like, who knows? And what could be the event that could potentially mark the return of SHW? I mean, I got a few ideas, and you know, so yeah.
Whatever it is,
in the comments right now.
Yeah, leave it in the comments, and we were curious what you guys think. I'm just super curious as to what the announcement is, and like you said, we're not working you folks. Like a lot of people
really don't know.
A lot of people come up to us before and after shows, like all the time, wanting to know the inside scoop of like what's happening in this storyline or where's this going.
We don't know.
That's the thing. I tell people all the time, just because we're sitting here calling the action, that doesn't mean we know what the outcomes are going to be and all this. So we aren't given a whole lot of information. And especially when it comes to this July 1st announcement, we have no clue what to expect. So we're just as excited, just as curious as you guys are. But by the way, is that a Goldberg shirt you got on there?
Believe it or not,
Nice.
It is a Goldberg shirt, which I'm sure is reeking of controversy to have a Goldberg shirt.
Look, I've been made fun of for years because look, back when I first started watching was right around like 97-ish.
Okay.
Goldberg was just coming out hot. And the streak was just getting started. So for me, and I've been made fun of on other podcasts, with amongst friends for years about being such a huge Goldberg mark. But I am now. Don't get me wrong. The last couple runs I could have done without. But but you know what? That's a cool shirt, and I dig it. So
thank you.
I'm not going to hate on you for wearing that shirt because, in fact, if I kind of wish I had that shirt. But I'll tell you what shirt I do have this week.
Let's see. What shirt do you have this week? Todd Reffin Fox. I love it. Now, all the SHW faithful, you guys know who Todd Fox is, one of our great referees here at SHW, who, believe it or not, He has his own store,
That's
doesn't
right.
he?
Pro Wrestling Tees.
Pro Wrestling Tees.
Search for Todd Fox, Todd Reffin Fox. He's a senior
Yeah.
official. I like to call him Eagle Eyes. He never misses anything. Well, maybe
Yes.
sometimes he might have his back turned and miss a few things here and there. A low blow every now and then. But it comes with the territory. So anyways,
he's still human, right? He's got two eyes. So.
Want to give him some love. Hit him up on Pro Wrestling Tees. Also, we miss him. We miss junior official Jeremy Prater. We miss all of our SHW family. And
absolutely.
But speaking of Pro Wrestling Tees, we mention it every week. You can go grab SHW merch. You can go grab a plethora of SHW wrestlers. They have stores on there. And one of those is the working team captain, Owen Knight.
Yes.
Who happens to be our special guest this week.
Absolutely. Really looking forward to that conversation. And it's interesting because, of course, last week we had an amazing conversation with AC Mack, and we know their connection with the new era. And so it kind of is, I don't want to call it a new era takeover here on the SHW podcast, but they are showing up, and maybe we can ask some questions about that.
Well, speaking of new era, this week, this past Tuesday, as a matter of fact, AEW Dark, we had some new era members appearing on Dark, some SHW roster members, actually former talent and current talent from SHW showing up for All Elite Wrestling on Dark. You got Danny J, David Ali making his debut with AEW, and then, of course, you got Lee Johnson's back, Sean Dean's back. You got Brady Pierce, who's showing up. Kenzie Page, who was on one of our shows last November when she took on Danny J in a great women's match last year. So props to all of them. Excited to see them back on AEW, and look forward to talking to some of them on future episodes of the podcast here. But
absolutely,
before we get to them, we got to get to tonight's guest.
Absolutely. We've got a very special guest coming your way. He's the working team captain, and he's coming up. Check this out.
Well, here we go, straight from Washington, D.C.
Neighborhood.
The working team captain, Owen Knight. What is going on, buddy?
What's up? What's up, guys? Thanks for having me. I appreciate
sir.
you guys. This is lit. Sir. Oh, yeah, this is about to be the littest one.
Oh, yeah.
I did a lot. This is about to be the latest one. If I had a shot of Hennessy, I would definitely give y'all, take a shot. But
we're shooting. We're shooting, folks. This is going to be the shooting episode. We're shooting on everybody. And I think, what are we on? Episode 7, GB? Is that right?
Something like that. I'm losing count, man. It's just feeling good, though. It's feeling
y'all the goats. Y'all the greatest. I just have everybody on here.
There you go. There you go. We got to have the best on here. And, of course, that's SHW is nothing but the best. We've got such a stacked roster. So week after week, whoever we have on here, it doesn't matter where they're at on the card. They're all top talent. And we're just excited to have you. Actually, you're just getting back into town, aren't you, Owen?
Yes, I am, actually, yes.
Where were you at?
I went to Dustin. Me and one of my couple friends went on a vacation. We've been locked up in quarantine for but honestly, it feels like it's been years, but it's actually only been maybe 3 months. Mm-hmm. So I've been in jail for 3 months. So, I broke out, and me and my friends, we had fun. I'm quarantined. I'm not quarantined. I'm COVID free. I'm good. Y'all straight. Ain't got nothing to worry about. I kept my 6 feet distance. I wore my mask. So I had to go get under the sun and got a tan. So it's not uneven no more. Yeah, had to.
Yeah. Hey.
But other than that, man, I had fun.
Awesome.
Well, what have you been able to do? What have you been up to? You said you've just been in quarantine the whole time. Have you been able to do anything, or you just been at the house?
Well, when it first actually started, I was just at the house, and because it kind of triggered my shoot job has stopped. And then once my shoot job did, the gym kind of closed, so I kind of had to revert some ways like I used to do back when I was 18. Before I went to the gym and everything, I just grabbed a lot of equipment that I could and just worked out at home. So I kind of just been doing push-ups and been on the network, just been watching wrestling just as much as I could, watching AEW. So just really honestly just trying to watch as much wrestling content I can, just until it comes back and I get going.
That's super interesting because a lot of the guys we've talked to have either immersed.
And I bought a PlayStation. I bought a PlayStation.
Nice.
I did buy a PlayStation. I had to run it up with GTA. So I'm out here in these streets. Come holler at me on GTA.
What's your game of choice?
See, I play GTA only for online, but I just got that Dragon Ball Z, the Kakarot thing.
Okay.
But I pre-ordered Tony Hawk and Avengers, but we'll talk about that. I ain't mean to over-talk a question.
No,
I just want
that's
to let you know what else I've been doing.
That's awesome. That's awesome. One of the things that's been interesting with all the people that we've been talking to has been that, either some are watching a lot of wrestling or some have paid no attention to the sport at all. So for you, talk about what you've been seeing in this quarantine era of wrestling, because it's certainly been different than what we're accustomed to.
I've seen a lot of character development. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I think when a lot of when the fans kind of, I don't want to say take away, but sometimes the little things go unnoticed.
Okay.
So I do appreciate the fact that during this quarantine, with the fans being away, because at first it was different. I never thought in my lifetime that I would see a WrestleMania with no people. You know what I'm saying? So for that to happen, it made you really pay attention and appreciate the little details as far as working, if you're a worker, how it goes. So I hope, and that has been one, and just as far as, and to get deeper into character development, a lot of people just really kind of being themselves. You know what I'm saying? I think with this quarantine, it gives some people a new lease on what they can do or what they can be in wrestling. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because if you think back 3 months ago, it seems like another lifetime.
Yeah, it really does.
The last SHW show, I believe, was March 10th.
That's right.
So that has been one of the good things about it. It's been paying attention to the character development and really watching wrestling. Because with the fans too, you got so much noise and stuff going on, the crowd can start chanting and you'll lose focus. Right. But when there's no people there, you have to focus on the action. It really makes you really watch it and really kind of appreciate what they're doing. So,
wow.
That's what I've been understanding.
That's actually a very intriguing observation, because again, I think so many people have been focused on the fans not being there.
Yes,
that you can kind of miss what is happening in the ring and some of the new developments that all of these organizations have been making, whether it's WWE, AEW, Impact, whomever. So for you, besides character development, what do you think has been the big plus for pro wrestling in this pandemic era? Because a lot of people have been looking at no fans being present. Will fans ever return? That type of thing. But wrestling is continuing, certainly on these larger scales. What have you seen kind of as the big plus coming out of all this for pro wrestling?
I've seen a lot of people express they miss for it. You know what I'm saying? When a lot of things are continuously going and keep going, you tend to lose focus on what really matters, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? I've heard people say wrestling won't be the same, and pretty much anything won't be the same as far as live sports with basketball, football, hockey.
Right.
The world itself won't be the same. Yeah. But as far as I feel like the love for wrestling will grow stronger because you'll miss those interactions. I've been to shows as a fan, and I get jitters. You know what I'm saying? I get excited because you're seeing people that you've seen on TV, especially when I was little. My first wrestling event was that I ever went to live was Cyber Sunday 07. Wow. It was in the Verizon Center before they switched it. Batista and Undertaker were the main event, and Stone Cold was a special guest referee. I was in the I lost my shit.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
Okay.
You're good.
Cool, my bad.
You're good.
Ask that question. My bad.
No, what's crazy though, you're not gonna believe this. I was actually at that show.
That's crazy.
That's nuts that you say that. I was at that show. Someone got me tickets for my birthday. Yeah. And so I came up to DC for that show that night. That is nuts.
Well, you're not going to believe this.
Oh, you was working.
Were you there too?
You was working at the back?
I was actually at Backlash 07 in Atlanta, but it was also main evented by Undertaker and Batista in a last man standing match. That's the closest I got to you guys. So
that's hilarious.
Sorry. I just had to throw that out there.
I was going to be like, what? That's crazy.
We almost had the trifecta.
That was almost nuts.
I was in the cheap seats, and my mom, my aunt, and my brothers went. I'm not sure my sister went, but my mom was terrified of the heights because of how high we were.
Yes.
So, but to get back to your question, it's just thinking about that makes me miss going to live wrestling shows and interacting with people. Wrestling is one of those sports that no matter your color or race, you could come together. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So
Yes.
I feel like the love for it won't go away. I think if anything, it'll intensify it because we'll be so eager.
Yeah.
The first time that it comes across the screen that you are now allowed to re-enter venues for a sport event, people gonna go crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't think I think it's gonna set records. I think wrestling is gonna be a new breath, and it's gonna be a lot of with all the things that are going on with the riots and just life and just general breath. I think people are coming back with a new perspective and a newfound love on life and what they do. So I don't think it's going nowhere. No.
I love that. I love that you mentioned all that's going on in the world, and there is a ton going on in the world. I mean, we've got a health pandemic, we have a social pandemic. It's pretty crazy, man. How is all of this affecting you?
Well, first of all, being an African American man is one of those things that it's scary. You know what I'm saying? Like I can remember the trial of Trayvon Martin. I just moved to Atlanta, and I was attending WWA 4, but it was at that time it was run under Total Protection, Mr. Hughes.
Gotcha.
And at this hotel that was down the street, we lived in a hotel with the wrestlers. So the wrestlers stayed in the hotel, and I remember all of us, pretty much everybody, and majority in that neighborhood, everybody was majority black.
Yeah.
So I remember all of us sitting in the lobby and watching that broadcast, and for him to get not guilty, it sucked the life out of the room.
Yes.
It set us back how many years that we, came from.
Mm-hmm.
So as a black man, as I scroll down my timeline, even with Eric Garner and Breonna Taylor, it just goes on. It almost sometimes seems normal. It almost gets normal. You know what I'm saying? And I shouldn't scroll down my screen and see someone being killed and be like, oh, that's just crazy. You know what I'm saying? So it puts you as a black man, for me, it puts me in perspective that I don't want to make it seem like it's us or them. It can't be all lives if ours don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. So it's just it's one of those things where the people, my friends and stuff, because I have people that I know that go out there and they protest and all that. I just tell them just to know why you're protesting, why you go out there, and just stand to what you believe in. You know what I'm saying? And no matter what, regardless on what hashtags may come up, whatever, all lives do matter. But you can't just single out certain races just because of ignorance that was taught generation after generation after generation. To be honest, I'm looking towards I just been watching like a lot of like positivity things to try to keep my mind off of it. You know what I'm saying? Sure. We're in a us as black men, we're put in a system that are designed for us to fail sometimes. You know, not sometimes, majority of the times. So I don't want to, I'm not being the next Malcolm X or preaching or trying to do that, but you do have to understand that it has to stop. This shit has to stop. You know what I'm saying? There has to be consequences for people's actions. African Americans are made examples all the time. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? All the time. Just off of the stupidest stuff. I know people who are locked up for marijuana, but they got 3-4 years compared to someone else who done twice as much as the crime, get off with a slap of the wrist. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I just want the world just to heal. I feel like with all these protests and with the whole country getting involved, that it's going in a different place. It's going in a better place. You got to hold the people that you are closest to, no matter your color, purple, yellow, whatever they may be, hold them accountable and just let them know that we all are in this together. So I just been trying to be positive because I know it's a brighter day coming. I know it's a better day coming for everybody. So
absolutely.
Just pray.
Yeah.
Just pray, man.
And hopefully that brighter day is coming sooner rather than later for sure. Because, you mentioned a second ago about wrestling kind of being one of those things where all races, all sides of life can come together and they're all there for the same reason, the love of wrestling. And, we talked about this a few weeks ago. We mentioned Batista a second ago, but Batista and Titus O'Neil had a sit down, a kind of a forum with a couple of officers down in Tampa a couple of weeks ago. And they put it up on Facebook for everybody to watch. And it was just them having a forum where they could talk and discuss the issues and get kind of both sides of the stories and all this kind of thing. But one of the things that both Titus and Batista said, they were talking about football games. And I equated that to going to wrestling. But they talk about how when you're at a football game, everybody's there for the same team. You're all on the same team. You're cheering together. And why can't people do that, like take that away from the stadium and then just live life like that? And I agree. And you mentioned with wrestling, same thing. And we talked about this a couple weeks ago, but SHW specifically, I feel like, and I know there's other promotions out there, but are so diverse.
Yeah.
And I love that about SHW because it doesn't matter what race you are, what orientation you are. It does not matter, gender. Everybody's there. It's just,
we just people.
Yeah,
We just people.
It's all about your talent. Like, we just want the most talented people. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what sexual orientation you are. It shouldn't matter.
Even getting from even stepping from the talent, just as far as the people that come, you know what I'm saying? Like, we all believe the same. We're all people.
Right.
So I think as a society, we have to stop, we put people in sections. You know how in school you put the jocks with the jocks and the geeks with the geeks? We kind of put people in classes. And once we get that narrative out that if I cut myself or you cut yourself or whatever, we all bleed the same. We're just different shells. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to take time. It's going to take a lot of time. And that's why I say too with wrestling that the love for it will continue to grow, because I've watched pretty much a lot more wrestling than I had watched when I was like doing it more now, just because of what all is going on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's stuff that I haven't seen in like years. I watched the Great American Bash in 2004. I ran back to 2000. I ran back Survivor Series of 2001. It's just stuff that I haven't seen in a while that made me take away from everything that's going on, put my phone down, get off Instagram, get off Facebook, and just get lost. You know what I'm saying? Just get lost in it. So it makes the love for it, like, it makes me appreciate it more, so that when it comes back, I could love it even more. You know what I'm saying?
I love that.
So So hopefully, man, it's gonna get better, y'all. It's got to.
Yeah, it has to. It has to. And one of the things that I'm certain of is one of the things that makes life better is not just wrestling, but music. And so with that said, you're rocking a Willie Nelson shirt, man. Are you a country music fan?
Look, listen here. I always say this one time. My favorite country music star is Billy Ray Cyrus. And it's not because of Old Town Road. It's not because of Old Town Road.
Achy Breaky Heart.
There we go. There we go.
Hey, look, I'm going to throw this out there. This has nothing to do with wrestling. It has nothing to do with SHW. But I grew up in Tucker, Georgia. And several years ago, they started a thing called the Tucker Chili Cook-Off. And they do it every year. And I forget whatever time of year, the fall or something. Anyways, I joined it the very first year, and I created Chili Ray Cyrus. And the name of he was our mascot. He was our mascot, and the name of our chili was Achy Breaky Fart Chili.
Yes, that's hard.
So the whole thing, and then we also had Miley Cyrus's Farty in the USA. So we had like a milder version of the chili. So that was Farty in the USA. And then he had Achy Breaky Fart was like the hot stuff. So anyways, whenever I think about Billy Ray Cyrus, it makes me think of Chili Ray Cyrus. And again, it has nothing to do with anything other than I'm just putting it out there. So,
yes, it does. Billy Ray's the GOAT. Oh my goodness.
He is, right?
He's the GOAT.
That's great.
Anyway,
Billy Ray Cyrus. I would have never imagined that.
Well, I listen to like pretty much like a lot of like music, but just like when people say country, I just always say him because like I do love Billy Ray Cyrus. But I really love hip hop music. I really do love hip hop music. I listen to a lot of like emo, like punk rock. You know what I'm saying? What else? I do love my R&B too. You know what I'm saying? I do love my soul and there's some little old school cuts that you made. Like for me, I've heard those songs like on some movies, like as I was little. So like they'll be on some movie. I'd be like, what is this song? And then that song came out like in 75. And I'd be like, oh, this is great. You know what I'm saying? So I have like a wide like span of it. But my favorite rapper is Lil Wayne. That's my favorite rapper of all time. My favorite rapper is Lil Wayne.
Yeah. Dope. So let me put this to you. We've been asking a lot of people about when wrestling returns.
Yeah.
Who's your dream opponent? Who do you want to wrestle when wrestling returns?
Just like in general?
In general. Give us somebody, perhaps some Southern Honor, and then anywhere else.
I really want to have a match with Jonathan Gresham. I really, really do.
Ooh.
That's like one like I've been wanting to. And what's crazy enough is when he was still coming to A4 back when Hughes was taking over, he was one of the matches like I really wanted. And we tagged one time. Like when I was training to be a heel, we actually teamed together. Wow. And literally he told me, he was just like, yo, just be yourself and just go out there, just be me. You know what I'm saying? And that was the one time we ever got to do anything. And if he sees this or whatever, I that's like one-on-ones like I really want to make happen. Just
of course he's going to see this. Of course,
he
why
he's
wouldn't
see
he?
this.
Why wouldn't
he better
he
see this?
Yeah.
I want you, Gresham. I do. I really want to wrestle Gresham. I really, really do.
Wow.
He's amazing. He's amazing.
Yeah.
Bro. He's been all over the world, bro. And just to have 2A4 dudes just go in there and just tear it up would just be good. Would just be good for the culture. You know what I'm saying? Be good for the culture. So yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And if we talk about like, as far as Southern Honor goes, to be honest with y'all, I do need a shot for the title, for the Southern title. That's that's on God. Are we gonna be real? I'm like 9, 10 and 0, right? Something like that.
Pew. We're shooting here. We are shooting here, man.
I'm just saying. I don't know who keeps it. You know what creatives got going on. Just say it. Just say it.
Look, I have heard from numerous fans talking about Owen Knight and people in the locker room as well. One of the most underrated wrestlers we have on the roster. And I've been there since day one. I know you have too. So I've seen you all the way through. What are we, like a year and a half in, I guess, even though it feels much longer. Right. But I can't bleave it's only been that short of amount of time. But anyways, I think you're due for a title run or title shot at least. And
at least a shot.
So whoever might be listening to this, wink, wink, in the front office.
I'm dead.
So
come on, Gary, make it happen.
It's definitely past time. It'd be an amazing, amazing thing to see happen. So, wrestling aspirations, perhaps outside of SHW. What are some things you'd like to ultimately accomplish in the wrestling world? Is there any specific spot you'd like to end up in? What does that look like for you?
I really want to start as far as like the East Coast and really get like up and down the southeastern like side of it. I'm currently trying to work my way like actually up through like DC, Pennsylvania, North Carolina. I'm in South Carolina at PCW, Palmetto Championship Wrestling. So right now I'm just really just trying to, I don't want to say rebrand, but like I said, coming, in from out of this quarantine, you don't want to have the same old. You know what I'm saying? Right. And my main objective has always been to put myself out there as much as I can. You know what I'm saying? Because after a while, if we are shooting here, after a while, the whole underrated thing does kind of get like annoying. You know what I'm saying? Because it's one of those things. It's one of those things where it's just like, and I remember this. I had a conversation with Ethan Case one day, and I remember he had told me, he looked at me in my eyes, and he was like, "Yo, you're good. Start realizing how good that you are." Yeah. And it's the difference between being cocky and being humble about it. You know what I'm saying? And the day that I found out that I was actually good at this, I was just like, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? And I know that everybody has their time, at the, for the fruits of their labor to get their pie. So I'm just gotta, work on my craft and do the things that I know how to do to the best of my ability, and to make Owen Knight one day a household name, to be completely honest. You know what I'm saying? And it's just one of those things where, for me, I'm always happy to see, my friends and in wrestling achieve and do things, this, that, and the third. And I know that my day will come. You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely,
get to the whole overrated thing. That after a while kind of gets like annoying. You know what I'm saying? But I know that, good things come to those who wait. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And while I'm sitting here waiting, I'm putting in the work. So I mean, I know for show's coming.
Yeah. He's a working team's captain. He makes all work look like easy work.
It's all work. All work is easy, man, with a little faith and vitamins,
There you go.
A shot of Henny or two.
While we're shooting, why not shoot? Yeah, exactly. I got it.
No, not shoot a shot,
Well, look, we were talking about SHW a little bit ago, and you talked about some of your other friends on the roster. Let's talk about the new era: David Ali, Danny Jordan. Was it the last show? You have to help me out here, GB, because all my shows, all my months are running together.
They're starting to run together, yeah.
Was it the last show that you guys had kind of like a sort of a reunion in the ring there?
It seemed that way. It was the last show because the next show was supposed to be them teaming up together. So, So go ahead.
Yeah, it was cool to see you guys come back together, and we weren't really sure. Like, you guys had never really split up officially or anything. But what did it feel like? I'm curious, because you guys were the heels. You were the heel faction. You had Alan in there at one point. You had Mac in there at one point. But there was like the core 3 members. It was you, David Ali, Danny Jordan. And then all of a sudden, individually, you all kind of started getting over in your singles matches. And then all of a sudden you kind of had that little mini reunion and you guys kind of were like the faces all of a sudden. And that crowd pop was awesome.
People love bad guys, bro. People love bad guys.
It was like the NWO situation. Yeah.
It really was.
Jerks. Everyone's jerks in real life. They just don't want to admit it.
Wait, how did that feel though? Like to be in the ring when that was going on, like, and everybody was cheering. It just seemed like horror world.
It was bizarre, kind of, especially when David picked me up and almost hit me, but then gave me a hug. So that was a little confusing. As far as the new era goes, you know what I'm saying? We, as you see, Danny, is doing her and David's doing them. You know what I'm saying? So as far as new era as a group, I don't want to officially say it's like over, but I mean, as of right now, I'm kind of just focusing on just me. You know what I'm saying? Just as them as Danny's focusing on her and David's focusing on them. So if our paths cross again, it definitely will definitely do damage. But for right now, Owen Knight has to worry about Owen. You know what I'm saying? And the new era was a part of Owen's history and continuous history in Southern Honor. So I just wish him nothing but the best. And new era is still litty. We don't need Allen and Mac. I still want my damn T-shirt.
Hey, speaking of, funny you should say that. Speaking
of,
he
didn't get back my T-shirt.
By the way, that was one of my favorite clips of all time, and I shared it, and I shared the little video loop and put it on Instagram. Can we at least get our shirt back?
Yeah, that's like really what I want. That's money. Man.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing ever. But speaking of shirts, we mentioned this earlier.
Oh man, Jesus!
I'm repping one. This might be one of your older designs, but
ew.
So you don't like this one?
No, that's one of the older ones. That's one of the older ones. Like I
wanted to go classic. That's why I bought one of the classic shirts.
I appreciate you.
So Pro Wrestling Tees. Tell everybody you got a Pro Wrestling Tee store, right?
If you guys want that ugly T-shirt, you guys can go on my ProWrestlingTees.com and purchase it. Yeah. And to be honest with you, I don't even know my Pro Wrestling Tees website. It's probably
ProWrestlingTees.com and search Owen Knight. That's how I found it.
See, he got it right there. Drop the link below. But I have new merch coming. But I appreciate you, man. It's the thought that counts.
Awesome.
Hey, look, here was the deal. It was like
I'll cash app you the money back, bro. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
when the quarantine first started and all of our friends were out of work because all the shows were done, it was like, well, what can you do to support our friends? We'll go on their Pro Wrestling Tees stores and
I appreciate that.
And so we went on and we got you and we got there's a plethora of SHW roster members that have Pro Wrestling Tees stores or have merch online on sale online somewhere. And so I was always trying to encourage everybody to, show some love to our friends from the SHW roster. But anyway,
I appreciate that.
I did notice, and I don't know how long ago this was, but you had another newer design that was available. And is that like for sale somewhere, or
yes,
were you only selling
is.
those at shows, or what was the deal?
No, actually, it's actually part one to a second design that I have coming, but I really just put it out just to have new merches out there. If anyone wants some, it's the War Ready. It's my War Ready edition T-shirt. You guys can literally DM me, and I take payment, Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, and what I do is I mail it out to them and ask them to take a picture, yada yada, and then that's how it'll be. So or if then when the shows start, you can definitely get them at the shows as well too.
So I noticed the picture of me wearing this shirt that I sent you. You never shared it, so now I know why. Because you don't.
Wait. Time out. I didn't remember getting a picture from it. I would have definitely posted it because no one has ever got that shirt but one other person.
You would have posted it.
Shout out Big O. Big O had got a shirt. Big O got one of those ugly shirts. They bought it. I was so happy. But no, I will find it. I'm gonna find it. And I'm gonna post it. I'm gonna tag you right after this. I swear.
Yeah,
I love it.
Tag me and say, "Don't buy this shirt."
Well, you know what? Here you go. I'll do you one better. I'll trade you that ugly shirt for a new one.
No, I will spend good money on a new one. So we'll talk about it off air.
See, you're the guy.
We'll talk about it off air.
You're the motherfucking guy.
I love it. I love it. Well, let people know how they can get a hold of you on social media, because I know people are going to want to reach out to you after they hear this.
I am on Instagram as TWTCAPT, Twit Captain. I'm on Facebook as Owen Knight as well, and I'm on Twitter as TWTCAPT. My Snapchat is long as hell. It's Owen Knight TWT DC202, something like that. I don't even know.
Oh, wow.
Forget I said Snapchat. Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter is how you get it. I'm gonna delete my Snapchat.
Oh, look, I get it. I hardly use mine, so that's why I never talk about it. But before we go, man, like obviously the fans are missing you guys. We're all missing the fans. What would you like to say to the fans as the fans are still coming out of quarantine and getting ready to return to wrestling?
I would just say that thank you. First of all, thank you for just staying with Southern Honor and keeping and our loyal fans keeping it with us, because this is a trying time. This is a hard time for people.
Yeah.
And just to deal with stuff. So I say just remain faithful and just hold on faith and that we're coming back. You know what I'm saying? Southern Honor has a big announcement July 1st, I believe. So hopefully it's some good news. Wash your hands, because that's how you can stop Corona. And wash your ass, okay? Stay 6 feet and wear your mask. People, so when I was out in Florida, I was so scared of this Corona, but I was just like, I'm grown. I'm just wash my hands. Wash your hands, stay 6 feet, and just practice safe social distancing.
Yeah. And
because I ain't trying to have y'all come up and sneeze on me at the table when I see y'all, because I'm a miss y'all. So I don't want y'all to be achoo. That's gross. Right. So I love this. Please, just do that, and then everything's gonna be fine, y'all. Just remain faithful and keep it moving.
Awesome, man. Well, Owen Knight, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward, hopefully, to seeing you much sooner than later. So,
yes, likewise. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. What a fantastic interview. The working team captain, Owen Knight. Boy, was that fun or what? Oh my gosh.
He's such a fun guy to talk to, and I miss seeing. I miss everybody at SHW, but it's like folks like that. Like when we get there early before the shows, and we're backstage, we're talking to everybody and just cutting up and having fun. And I miss seeing him. I miss the whole roster. I miss the whole SHW family, as I've said numerous times.
And absolutely, we miss them. And one thing we're excited about is July the 1st. It is a monster announcement from Gary Lamb about what's going on with Southern Honor Wrestling. The only thing I can guess is based on the tenor and tone of that post, it could be very good news. So I'm just saying, we asked you at the top of the show. If you missed it at the top of the show, and you think you know what the announcement is, drop it in the comments. We'd love to see what you think it is. And if you think it's a return date, when do you think it would be? I don't know. I'm game, though.
I don't know, but I'm excited whenever it may be, just to get back and have fun with the SHW family, the SHW faithful. So, but before we let you guys go, of course, you got to remember we are all over the internet. You can find us at our YouTube channel, SHW This Is Our Wrestling. You can follow us on Instagram and Twitter at SHW Pod.
Yes.
There it is. SHW Pod. Find us
right there in your hands.
Yeah. There it is. It's weird doing it backwards. I'm looking at the screen. I don't know.
Right. It's like,
you know where it is. You see it back there. SHW Pod, Instagram, Twitter, and of course all the podcast platforms. You can hear us on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Spotify, all that good stuff. We're all over the place. So reach out, follow us. Again, leave comments. Let us know what you like, what you don't like. Give us suggestions for guests, who you might want to see on the show, any questions you have for guests that we have on the show. And it's always fun because you never know who we're going to have from week to week. Because we don't either. We just kind of we're going with the flow.
We got some cool things coming up, though. So
we do.
Be on the lookout for it.
Exactly. We got some good things lined up, but we try to keep you guys guessing too, because
absolutely,
we don't want to give away too many spoilers.
Oh no spoilers. But let me remind you of a good spoiler though. If Southern Honor is on the way back, and I don't have any intel other than July 1st, there's an announcement, you'll probably want to go back and get caught up on all things SHW. You can do that by going to independentwrestling.tv. Go ahead and check out the entire library and catalog of all things Southern Honor. $10 a month, a small price to pay to get all the great wrestling action that has happened at Southern Honor. And listen, most of you have come to the shows regularly, but you've never had the privilege of sitting at home and watching the show. You can do that with independentwrestling.tv, available on virtually any platform, any device that you have. I promise you, it's a completely different thing because guess what? You get to hear us on commentary. I'm just saying.
I don't know though.
Something a little bit different to the show.
Careful. That might make people not want to get.
No, I think.
Look. Listen, everybody. Gerard's there. So despite that, the fact that I'm there, Gerard's there. So that's
from the beginning. I'm the new guy. So
GB makes it worth the price of admission. I'll just put it right out there. So yeah, $10 a month is a small price to pay to catch up, binge watch. I mean, everybody's been binge watching all these other shows during quarantine. So why not add SHW to your binge watch list and get all caught up so you'll be ready for whenever it is that we actually come back. And you know it's going to be big.
And it seems like it's sooner than later. That's just my guess.
Yeah.
Just my guess. So.
Well, hey, we will be back next week with a brand new episode. But until then, this has been SHW.
This is our wrestling.
There it is. We'll see you guys real soon.
You got it.